All right, so going on 10 o'clock almost in about 6 minutes. So I have, I'm just going to set up this stream so that if I do end up taking some trades, I'm still live streaming them. But it'll be more of a passive stream. I won't pop in very much unless a trade setup happens. I am working at the same time, so that is why it's just gonna be a passive stream. Right now, I pretty much powered through most of my pages, but I still have to get through. I'm gonna do extra just because I have a bunch of cases that I need to get through. So I'm gonna be pretty busy today. Um, but yeah, other than that, it's been a pretty decent morning. And here's a setup. Obviously, this will be a primary, and um, and yeah, it's not 10 o'clock, so Yeah, I need to hook up my work computer. I just unplug it and bring it over here, but now I need to figure out my cord situation that's going on here to potentially, what am I? Yeah, to potentially bring it, set up my, because I have this desk that I got specifically for work, and I don't know, I don't work at my desk anymore. Part of the reason because this chair is actually terrible. And so a couple of days sitting at this desk and my back is killing me. So, um, yeah, what are we? So it's 10 o'clock. As you can see, this one went beautifully. However, it wasn't 10 o'clock. So, um, this could still fit in the parameters of being a, why is this yellow? I didn't do that. Um, yeah, it could still fit within the parameters of being a like how I was saying yesterday, like you could still effectively enter even if um even if it's slightly before, but it was, what was it, 5 minutes before. And I was saying yesterday, oh, 1 minute, 2 minutes, but 5 minutes, not really. So that's why we didn't count this one, even though it was a good one. Um, so this would be one right here. But obviously the entry would be bad because it's already almost completed. So you'd want to enter, and there it goes. You'd want to enter when it was down here, obviously. Why is this missing a green? I don't know. Anyways, so this would be your first one right there. But yeah, I need to go. I'm just taking a little break because I've been working since 8 and there was a meeting. So yeah, it's been a few hours. So I kind of just need to just do like a little mental reset before I jump back into it, cuz I'm trying to make up cuz yesterday was really a kind of get settled after traveling day, and so I didn't really do a whole lot of work. So now I'm working double time to make up for what I should have done yesterday. So it's been a busy morning, but I mean, I've almost completed my numbers and I've only been working for 2 hours. So, but I still have a bunch more stuff to do. Anyways, as far as contract sizing, probably gonna stick with, I mean, we can use one or two. Depending on the type of entry we get, we might go two. For example, let's say that let's say instead of just popping right up here, let's say it came down here. When it comes down to here, you can use two because then your risk to reward is really good. But if it's like right here, you might just want to use one, but that's just my preference. Anyways, there's no trade right here, obviously, but um, those are the parameters for using two versus one contract. I'll be using two if the entries are not the entries, but if the risk to reward is good, I'll use two. If it's not so good, if it's negative RR, then I'll just use one and just kind of keep it simple like that. Oh, looks like there was news. Oh, what happened here? Let's see. Job openings. Okay. One thing that's nice is when you have multiple things going for you, it makes you rely, well, makes me rely less on trading as a end all be all. I think I've always approached trading as um, kind of a like a do or die. Like you get into a trade, and if you lose, it's over, right? You know, all your dreams and hopes go down the drain. You know, it's just, it was stressful. But the way I think of trading now is just one of many things that I'm doing. Um, and so, you know what? It doesn't have to work every time. It doesn't. Um, and you know what? It's okay. It's okay because honestly, before, you know, I was like, okay, trading's gonna be my main source of income. It's gonna be, you know, what I do, and so it has to work every time. And so then when it didn't work, it was depressing, you know. It was like, oh, I'm a failure, etc., etc. But now that I have other things going on, especially I'm getting closer with my insurance class right now. I just finished the health insurance part. So now I'm getting into the life insurance section. And then after that, it's the just the Texas specific section. But once you get past all of the dense terminology, it goes a lot faster. So free blanket. What? Hold up. I have T-Mobile, and sometimes they do free stuff, and they're like something about a free. Okay, that blanket is very pink, like insanely pink. Yeah, I'm not going all the way, driving all the way to T-Mobile just to get a free pink blanket that I will never want to be seen in public with. Okay, and then the other thing, let's see. I get like kind of flashback pictures of Zazio, and there's a picture of him a year ago. He was so small, and he had a lot more black in his fur. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know if I'll be going to fitness today. Maybe. I don't know. So, normally, on a normal day, I would probably be heading to the park with Pop right now. Like, I would have started this stream and then I would have probably headed to the park, came back by 11, sat down, blah, 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 blah. But because one, I'm trying to work a little bit more effectively and not waste so much time because I find myself doing that a lot. Um, so, and also he's just been sleeping a lot, mainly because, um, you know, the trip was stressful for him. I mean, you're a dog, right? So he's stuck in a car. He doesn't know where we're going, right? Um, and he can't really see, you know, and it's not like I can explain to him, okay, we have 2 more hours or we have 30 more minutes before we stop again, so just sit tight, you know. It's not the same as like a kid, you know. All he knows is that he's stuck, the car is moving, he doesn't know where we're going, he doesn't know how long we're going, he just knows he can't get out, and it's stressful. And so he's been sleeping a lot yesterday, today. Normally he'd be bothering me and I'd be like, fine, let's go to the park. Um, but um, but no, he's not even hasn't bothered me once this morning. Wow, that happened so fast. Okay. He hasn't even bothered me once this morning. Like um that's how tired he is. It just he needs to decompress. So I'm probably not going to take him to the park at least probably this entire week because yeah, he needs to chill. He needs to chill. Anyways, um but yeah, as you can see, there was one right here. It happened pretty fast. Um within wait, 9 seconds, right? So that was a very fast one. It's the ones that are within 1 second that would be impossible. Let's check and see where the computer is as far as charging, and then I'll probably get back to work in about a minute. I don't get it. My work computer, it charges so fast and then it drains equally fast. Like it was almost dead. I plugged it in, it's at 60% now, but if I unplug it, it'll be down almost dead again by I don't know, within the hour. It doesn't even last that long. um I kind of want to take Pup out, but if I wake him up to take him out, he may he may become rowdy again. I don't know. All right, I'm back. So this is primary, this is the secondary trading strategy that doesn't utilize the secondaries. And so this would be a primary right here. So what you want is for it to come up. So at least you have a 1-to-2 ratio. I mean, a 1-to-1 ratio. It doesn't have to, but it's preferable. And also remember, I gotta remember my own words, right? This is just part of the process. And you know what? It's not the end of the world, right? We have a job, we have a steady source of income. So taking a trade is not gonna bankrupt you. It's not gonna bankrupt me. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. There we go. See how we're coming up into the green? That's what you want. I mean, not necessarily want, but that's going to give you a better risk to reward is if you enter when it's green versus when it's down in here. Yikes. Okay, so stop loss goes here. Okay, that's bad. Anyways, stop loss. Very tight. What? What happened? Oh, yep, that's gonna tap us out. Okay. You know what? We tried. We tried. But that's your, this is a primary. You know what? Sometimes it's better to just take the L than to not do anything at all. Can't be mad about it. And honestly, if we had entered when it was down in here, worse, way worse. We've been way worse off. So I'm just happy I at least got a decent entry. So it's a decent entry. If it doesn't play out, if it doesn't do what you want it to, that's okay. You know, entering is better than just sitting and twiddling your thumbs and being like, oh, I don't know what to do. Yeah. So this is the entry based off of no EMA filter. So yeah. All right, I was filling out my timesheet before this happened. Okay. You know what? A 21 tick loss is better than a 40 tick loss. Oh, 100%, because if I had entered here where it first came down, you would have been toast, would have been toasty, very toast. But, you know, entering and losing is better than not entering. And, like, look at this right here. Didn't enter, would have won. Didn't enter, would have won. So here we are entering. We took it out. Took it out. That's okay. It's not the end of the world. I'm surprised it's 2 ticks away. 2. Okay, now it's 5 ticks away. Okay. Somehow it took me out, but okay, there it is. And there's your L right there. I'm surprised it hasn't taken me out fully. That's no, I'm surprised it hasn't actually completed a cycle. That's weird. It should have. That's one of the other things I notice is that sometimes it doesn't actually take you out for some weird reason. Um, yeah, because now it's 10 ticks away. Okay, 8, where it should have should have completed a brick and it didn't. I don't know. I feel like that's a glitch in in the system because it might have only popped up for a split second and it was like, oh, it didn't count it. So, but it counted it on my end. Okay, there. Come on. Okay, there you go. There you go. All right, so what I want to see is in order to enter a cell, we'd have to come back down here um, to get a cell or get a buy. Looks like we're gonna chop around for a minute. To get a buy, we'd have to keep pushing. All right, that does not count. If we push down below 42, it would be a cell. No more news events, but we could still be riding some momentum from the last news event. But what do I know? Nothing. You know, one thing I feel the most is detachment, but in a good way. Um, Typically, when I'm attached to the result. You know, I want to make money, right? And if I see a negative, I'm like, oh no, right? It, I feel losses as a reflection of my capabilities. I see losses as, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I see losses as a reflection of me as a person. Oh, if I lost, I'm a loser. If I failed, I'm a failure, right? I saw trading as an extension of myself, and that's really not the case at all. Sometimes you're going to win, and sometimes you're going to lose. And the best thing you can do is to manage your losses so they don't become greater than your wins. That's really all it boils down to. And having a system, right? The system, the system proves itself. Yeah, there's there's um there's errors and there's things. It's not a perfect system, but it's the system that I have right now. And so, um, following my system, right? Following the system. If there's a win, great. If there's a loss, great. It's not an extension. Trading is not an extension of me, and it doesn't define me, right? Because before, let's say I took a loss, I would spend the rest of the day stressing out. Oh no, I lost, and blah blah blah, and then rethinking all of my life choices and why did I ever get into trading in the first place, and I'm never gonna succeed. And I've been doing this for over a year. Actually, it's we're going to be creeping up on 2 years, and I still can't be successful, and what's wrong with me, and blah blah blah, and I wasn't meant to win, and I'm just a like, just down that whole thing. And then you start looking at the little things, like, why didn't I take this one, or why didn't I take that one, or I could have taken this one way back here, but no, I decided to take the one losing one in that sequence. Yeah, sometimes you're going to take some bad trades. Doesn't make you a bad person. No. And the reality is, you know what? Okay, here's a quote. Maybe it sounds a little corny, but it's a good quote. It says, if Jesus is all you have, then you have all you need, right? And that's the truth. You know what? When you not resign, but when you accept, or when I accept that, God has the final say in everything, right? And I'm just here to do my best, and God will help carry me over that finish line, and I just gotta put in the work, right? Then suddenly a loss doesn't become catastrophic. A hit doesn't become debilitating. A a negative number doesn't negatively impact my day. It doesn't. So yeah, it's just the way it is. Like, goodness, I need to go back to work, but um, I was thinking we were gonna get a big push after some movement, but we seem to be a little stagnant here. But yeah, as you saw, both strategies have a 70, roughly a little over 70%. Although this one, not so much. Like the secondary, I mean, the primary only, no EMA. That one's a little bit, I'll say it's a little bit tricky simply because I don't have the data to actually suggest that it works, right? Because I only have what? Or keep watching this, but I only have 47 trades with a 70%. 47 trades is nothing, really, and that's only over the course of a week plus a day. I mean, it's not very long at all. And so when you consider that, it's really not, I don't know. And then on days when we're chopping around, you get really low percentages. But anyways, the point is, I don't have a lot of data to suggest that this actually works. So it makes it more risky. This one, sorry, this other one, I also have to keep my eye on this because, yeah. So this other one has 120 over the course of, I don't know, over a month's worth of data, and 120, and we only just started counting the 10 o'clock. So there's probably more in there. So I don't know exactly the number, but from what we have, this number is a lot better than the other number we just saw. So, and that's just the way it is. But yeah, anyways, this is looking like a primary. Yeah, and the thing is, both strategies intersect each other. So for example, this one was the second. I'll just call it the second strategy and the first strategy, the second one being this. So the second strategy incorporated this trade, but the first one didn't. Now, if this completes in like 1 second or two, it almost did. Anyways, if this completes, right, then yeah, so if this completes, then it will be the first strategy and the second strategy at the same time. So, yeah, there's two right there. So the strategies intersect, and they, let's say they complement each other, but one of them is it's less restrictive in some instances, like it doesn't restrict based on, the second one doesn't restrict based on the EMA. The first one does restrict based on the EMA, but it's also incorporates a lot of secondaries, whereas the first one you only get one secondary. So yeah, that's the way it is. I'm surprised that did not complete. It should have. That's something you don't see, right? So like you don't actually see until you're, trading. And that's why, another reason why you can't add limit orders. You can't do limit orders because let's say you had a limit order set exactly to here. Well, technically it did come up there, right? But it didn't, because let's say this just reversed and went all the way back down. Well, on look back, you never should have entered, right? Because it never gave you an actual brick. But if you're setting limit orders, price may be coming to those points and putting you in trades, and then we're completely reversing within a second. So that's why I don't set limit orders, um because there's the potential for, I don't know, I'll call them phantom bricks. There's a potential for phantom bricks to form. And basically, with a phantom brick, it's one that forms and then disappears, um, which is what that one literally just did. So, I think I've been actively paying attention to this for about an hour. I think, um, well, I was waiting for my computer to charge. It's probably charged, but I have a feeling if I walk away, I'm gonna miss an opportunity. But I mean, I was sitting here and I missed opportunities, so there's that. Yeah, I'll be right back. Pup is still sleeping. He got up and stretched for like a split second and then went back to right back to bed. One brick away. I have a feeling it is gonna complete simply because it has to. Come on, you're so close. All right, there it is. That's a terrible entry. It's already 7 ticks up. That's a terrible entry. I can't enter on that. Come on, man. Anyways, yeah, that was a that would give me a horrible entry if I entered there. Um, I'm gonna be patient. If it doesn't give me an entry, then that's just an oh well, because I'm not entering 5 ticks above what is reasonable. Now it's 13. And now it's just completed another brick. There was no entry for me right there. That is unfortunate. It was a trade. Could I have entered up here? Yes, but you want it to be here or lower. Like you don't want it to be all the way up here because that gives you a terrible risk to reward. Terrible risk to reward. Um, Absolutely terrible risk to reward. Yeah, that's gonna be probably a missed opportunity simply because the risk to reward would not have been good. I mean, unless you held it, but then your risk is all the way down here trying to capture this. I mean, yeah, it's gonna keep running, obviously. But yeah, the risk to reward was not good, which is why I didn't enter. So, you know. And yeah, I wanted it to come down to 0, and it didn't. It came down to like 3. It was sitting around here, and it wouldn't come down to here. And so I didn't enter. And that's just the way it goes. Yeah, and this is why trading can be kind of a mental game because think about it, right? I wanted price to come down here and it didn't. It shot up, missed an opportunity. It was very tempting to get right in here because oh, it's gonna run. And look, it came all the way back down, all the way back down to here. So yeah, um, this is and a lot of these are single ones, 1 1 1. Um, but yeah, there was no entry. There just wasn't. And then you got a short off of that. That's not an entry to anything at all. Yeah, there's just a lot of fluctuation, a lot of stuff. I would like to pass the buffer so I can at least be, I don't know, chill for a second, but gotta follow the strategy. I mean, it took me a month to pass the account, so yeah, pretty. Hmm. Yeah, it was not an easy pass. I have passed accounts quickly by simply going in with a bunch of contracts and going all out, but this time around I actually followed my strategy, took my time, 1 to 2 contracts, and I mean, past still the same, but a lot, a lot more of a mental game. You know, it's easy to show up for, for 5 minutes, dump a bunch of contracts and cross your fingers. I mean, sure, you could do that, throw in a bunch of contracts and cross your fingers, but what are you really learning and what are you really training? You training your patience? Nope. Um, and it's a lot harder, If I go in 2 days, max contracts both days, then I only have to be on high alert for 2 days. But try doing that every single day for a whole month. Actually, it was more than a month. Try doing that every day. It's hard. But now that I've done it, I know it's possible. It's possible to not blow up every single time. And that's definitely what I was doing when I was trading. Was I was coming in and I was like, I'm gonna make it all back, and I'd go in max contracts and just destroy, but not anymore. Not anymore. um, Yeah, I think this was a similar one where there was no, like, yes, there was an entry, but it was all within 9 seconds. So, like, unless your finger was hovering over the button, you weren't going to get in here. And then this one, very similar. This one was more of a minute to get in, but it is similar. I think there was an entry here, but, it just, I think this one I actually did hesitate. This one, there wasn't really an entry. I mean, there was, but there wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't fast enough to, because sometimes I have to sit there and like mentally calculate, okay, are you ready for this, Lizzie? And if the answer is no, then it's just no. But I think in this instance, I was sitting here and I didn't take it. Then this one, I had plenty of opportunity to get in because look, it came all the way up here, right? Or was it this? Yeah, this one. Pop. Yeah, so it was this one. Um, so I think no, it was this. Yeah, so I had plenty of opportunity to get in because remember it was kind of going all over the place. So I had plenty of opportunity here, but then, um, but then I did get in, but then it ended up losing. And on this one, I was hovering over the trigger, but there was no entry at that point because it just skipped over it and then it never came back enough to give me an entry. And then, we're just sitting here. Now Zazie is awake and would like to go out, most likely. And I know, the second I leave this house, there will be a trade and I will have missed it. I can feel it. I can feel it. But it's okay. If I'm not sitting down at the desk, it was not mine to take anyways. And since he woke up, I must go. Because yeah, I'm about to hop into my second leg of work. And you know what? I might just turn this off because I know that if I'm sitting here staring at it, I'm gonna be watching it and I'm not gonna be working. So I may actually have to turn this off and then just do like just enter the numbers after the fact because so what was this one? Yeah, I may have to enter the numbers after the fact because, like I said, I cannot sit here and try to work and trade. It just doesn't work for me. Um, all right, Bobby, let's go. Yeah, we're just kind of sitting in the middle of this right here, the top, the bottom, and we're just sitting in the middle. What do you see, Bobby? What is that? What is this? You like protein drinks, Baba? Okay, you can't. You can't have that, Baba. Okay, we're putting this away. Boop, boop. No, I literally walked away for 5 seconds. Okay, that is a cell. Seriously, I was gone for 5 seconds. I threw the trash away. Came back. Lesson note to self: do not take out the trash. I'm just kidding. No. Okay, so this is the point in which your R to R is good. So this is a primary. This is a primary. The same one. It's the same one I just did. All right, so this is one that we're gonna just set our stops and leave, okay? Because I do not have time for this bowl. Okay. Stop loss. What? Okay, stop loss 248. This one's more risky. Why is it so high? Okay. Don't know. Very high. What the heck was that? Okay, I'm going to leave, and I don't want to see us playing around in this area when I get back, okay? Absolutely ridiculous. Um, Low key wishing I had entered way up here, but can't go back. I can only move forward. As you can see, the secondary trades I missed were good. The primary trade I took was bad. Primary trade I took was bad. Well, this is the one I'm in, so hopefully it is not bad. But I will be, we're risking $380. So, yeah. Risking 380 on that. So a total of about, that's almost 400, 200. So risking about $600 in total. Hey, it's not over until it's over. If I see six, I will enter one more. I mean, I did see six previously. If I see it again, it's probably not good. You know what? I'll probably just go. Yeah. Because I feel like if I sit here and stare at it, I'll prematurely cut wins or overmanage losses and then create my own loss. So, yeah, I don't know. I just would rather walk away, come back, be up 5 grand. That's not gonna happen, but we wish it would. We wish it would. Yeah. See if I see this is why I have to walk away. Because if I got out now, I could recover my previous loss. But I don't know. I don't want to trade like that with the mindset of just recovering a previous loss. I don't know. It just seems very, it's how I used to trade. I was trading based off of the money. 100% the money. It was all about, oh, make a dollar. I was happy if I came out with $70 that day, because it was about the money. But, you know, I see things like this and it's like, why can't I have the patience to sit in that? Why can't I have the patience to sit in that? And why? The real answer is because I want the money. I want the change, because if I wasn't worried about the money, I would sit in the trades because I'm not worried about the dollar amount outcome. But when I cut trades prematurely and try to cut my losses, and then I'm trading based off of a dollar amount instead of the principle, which is patience. So you know what? I'll come back if we're up if we're down, we're down. If we're up, we're up. And I will have to. Oh, see, I'm so tempted to just take it and run. I don't know. Maybe I'm being stupid, but am I being greedy or stupid? I don't know. Because I have a tendency to do both. I kind of have to get out of this. Okay. Well, that's not terrible. I don't know. What's the difference between being greedy and then being impatient? I don't know. Because sometimes that's the other part of trading. Are you happy with what you have, or are you greedy and you want more? And I can't. Where's the balance between the two? Where's the balance? Because it's like, oh, you could make more, you should stay in, but then it's like, or you could lose everything by being greedy. I don't know. So there's really no right answer to it. But that is what we see. I'm not even concerned about this money. I'm just concerned about, was I being impatient? Was I being greedy by trying to stay in? Was I being impatient by getting out? I don't know. But that is a win on the part of this little puppy. Woohoo! Okay, I'm gonna go because he was sleeping. He woke up. He came over, and then he went back to sleep, and then he came over again, and He's looking at me so adorably, like, Mom, can we go outside? Okay. Guys, I just got back from inside. Oh crap, I missed some trades. Anyways, yeah, imagine had I actually stayed in, never would have got taken out. Would have fluctuated a lot, but it would be all the way down here. But I decided to get out around in this department. Yeah, that's the way it goes. Anyways, um, it's nice out. It says that it's what is it? It's 59, but feels like 64. It's really quite lovely. It feels like spring and it's December. Um, yeah. So we have about 18 more minutes and then we'll do the numbers and wrap this up. Oh yeah, one thing I will say, holding on primaries may be better than holding on secondaries. However, if it's the first secondary after a primary fail, you might also hold on that as well. Um, yeah, I don't know, because this definitely raises some questions. Because here's a primary hold, primary fail, primary hold, um, primary hold. Yeah, this one, primary hold, and another one, primary hold. Yeah, like if it does go, it tends, and I say tends to, it's not a given, but it should, right? In theory, continue. That one didn't. Um, and then that one was just weird. But yeah, I don't know. Anyways, did Pup eat his food? Okay, so I'm gonna cut this in a second here. So basically, what happened was while I was sitting here talking, um, there was a raisin. So let's go back. Before I even went on vacation, there was a raisin, and I was eating a trail mix, and a raisin had fallen out of the trail mix, and it fell on the floor, and I was working, and so I was in the middle of working, and so I just quickly picked up the raisin because I was like, dogs can have raisins, obviously, toxins and whatnot. So I picked up the raisin and I put it on the windowsill behind me, and I pushed it back just far enough so that so that he couldn't reach it, but not so far back that I would, forget it was there because the shade was all the shade. I keep the shade down. It's like a shade that you can like twist and open the blinds or whatever. Anyways, so um so it had been sitting there for probably a couple of days before we went on vacation, and then obviously while we were gone. And then when I got back on Monday, I saw it and I was like, I need to throw that away. Well, then I think I was working and I just didn't do it. Didn't do it. Wish I had, because as I'm sitting here talking to what was that, an hour ago, um, Zazia was bothering me and he was running around because we had just came inside. He ate his lunch and he was all happy and running around, and he was on the bed, and he must have looked over and seen the raisin. First time he noticed it. And a normal dog you'd think would just um, sniff the raisin and be like, oh, okay, what is that? I don't know. And most dogs have like an aversion to bitter tastes and things, but he does not. Um, did I mention that he ate nightshade? Oh, yeah, I did. I had a whole thing. I showed a picture. He ate nightshade while we were on vacation. Well, um, he ate the raisin. He didn't sniff it, say, wonder what that is. Nope. He just ate it. Just ate it. And I'm just like, oh, crap. Oh, goodness. So I Googled it, and Google was like, treated as an emergency kidney failure. So I was like, let me chat GPT it. Chat GPT, same thing. Induced vomiting. This is an emergency. So then I called the vet and they're like, get him down here right away. It's an emergency. I was like, oh no. So I get to the vet. I had the speed there. It probably took me less than 10 minutes to get there. And so I get there and they're all like, oh, you need to sign this form and that form and blah, blah, blah. No, did you sign this? And I'm just like, I'm standing here holding my dog who ate a is it toxious? I don't know what's the correct word. A poisonous berry, okay? And you're over here seeing if I signed a paper. Oh, you signed that paper in October? Or what about this other paper? Who cares? Then I had to sign uh, a resuscitation form of, do you want us to resuscitate him if something happens? And I'm just like, you're just supposed to be making him vomit so that he can, get rid of it before it starts releasing its toxins. So why am I signing this other form? And then I finally get in there and they're like, okay, are you okay with the cost? And I'm like, I don't care about the cost. Just take him and make sure he's okay. Like, why? If you told me the cost, was I gonna be like, oh, well, it's a little pricey for what I was expecting? You don't want to think about that. No, absolutely not. So, um, so yeah, $438 later, they had to give him a shot to make sure he's not nauseous later. I'm just like, because I gave him peroxide anyways. Um, So what was I saying? So now, um, he's, I think they gave him a shot in his foot because his foot hurts and he was growling in the car when I touched his paw. So he's hiding under the bed. Still gonna keep an eye out for him. He had blood work done because of that, and also the other toxins that he ingested over Thanksgiving. So, yeah, I don't know. Might be smart to buy pet insurance because I've never had a dog that I've had to take and spend so much money at the vet. Never. And yes, I've had dogs that eat weird things. I had my other dog, she loved eating chocolate. I don't know why, but if she found chocolate, she was like, candy. Um, so so yeah, she would eat chocolate. Not good for her, but um yeah, she was a chocolate eater, but she didn't eat everything. Like she was also very picky. But she just liked chocolate, you know. It was like a dog, it was like a treat. Well, Zaziel's the same, except it's not just chocolate. He does like chocolate, but it's everything else that's poisonous. He would eat avocado, tomato, onion, it doesn't matter. He'll eat anything and everything. He has no discrimination between foods. Um, like he literally, I've seen him literally eat anything. He goes outside and he eats dry leaves. Like he eats, crispy dead worms. It doesn't matter. He'll eat everything. So, yeah, I don't even know what happened here, but let's calculate and then let's get back to work. Okay. So, it's Tuesday, right? So, first trade. So, this is using the EMA filter. Let's just count them and then we'll be good to go. So, one, two, three, four, five. Okay, so there were five good ones using the EMA filter, and they were all good. Five. Some of them had very limited entry windows, but they were still good. So that's five. This one would have had a. Doesn't matter. Okay, so that's five and five, bringing us to. Nice. Okay, now let's go to this one, because this one I was trading based off of this one, and this one was not faring so well. No EMA. So today, we had, okay, so we had one that failed. And then we had two that won, three that was good. So yeah, we only had three. So we had three and two. Wait, what? Oh yeah, we had three and two, and this one, yeah. So we had three and two. So break even on this. The other one was 100% wins. So if I had just stuck to doing this one, 100% wins. So now we're up to 50 trades with a 70% win rate. And the other one, we had what? 125 trades with a 72% win rate. So we have a lot more data going for us in this one, but because we were doing this one first. Anyways, that's all for today. I will be monitoring Zazio, who's currently hiding under the bed. He hides under there when he's stressed. So I'll be monitoring him while at the same time just yeah, while at the same time we'll be working because I don't have my pages yet. So and I'll probably be working a little longer because I was not expecting to be gone at the running to the vet, and the whole thing took about an hour. So that's my lunch break right there.